Hello and welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing a topic that has been on many people's minds lately. Was Brexit a mistake? The United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union, commonly known as Brexit, has been a controversial and divisive topic since the vote in 2016. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer was confronted over his vote in the Brexit referendum. And we want to take a closer look at whether or not Brexit was the right decision for the United Kingdom. In this video, we'll be discussing the background of Brexit, the consequences of the decision, and Sir Keir Starmer's position on the issue. We'll also be taking a look at the opinions of experts and ordinary citizens to get a better understanding of the impact of Brexit on the UK and its relationship with the rest of Europe. To understand why Brexit happened, we first need to look at the background of the issue. The United Kingdom has been a member of the European Union since 1973, but there has always been a significant portion of the population that has been skeptical of the EU and its impact on the UK. In 2016, a referendum was held in the UK on whether or not to leave the European Union. The vote was close, with 51.9% of people voting to leave and 48.1% voting to remain. There were many reasons why people voted to leave the EU, including concerns about immigration, loss of sovereignty, and a desire to take back control of the UK's laws and regulations. Some felt that the EU's open border policy had led to an influx of immigrants, and that the UK was no longer in control of its own borders. Others felt that the EU was undemocratic, and that the UK's laws were being made by unelected bureaucrats in Brussels. Additionally, some argued that the EU's regulations were stifling business and harming the UK's economy. The Leave campaign, led by figures such as Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage, promised that leaving the EU would allow the UK to take back control of its borders, make its own trade deals, and save billions of pounds in contributions to the EU budget. This message resonated with many voters, especially in areas that had been economically disadvantaged and had seen a large increase in immigration. Since the vote, we've seen many consequences of Brexit, both good and bad. On one hand, many people argue that Brexit has allowed the UK to regain control of its borders and make its own laws and trade deals. The UK government has been able to implement stricter immigration policies and has been able to negotiate new trade deals with countries outside of the EU. On the other hand, others argue that Brexit has led to economic uncertainty and has damaged the UK's relationship with its European neighbours. The decision to leave the EU has caused significant uncertainty for businesses and investors, as they are unsure of what the future relationship between the UK and the EU will look like. Additionally, the UK's departure from the EU has caused a rift between the UK and its European neighbours, as the EU has been unwilling to make significant concessions in the ongoing negotiations. Additionally, there have been concerns about the impact of Brexit on the UK's economy, with some experts warning of a potential recession if a trade deal is not reached with the EU. The EU is the UK's largest trading partner, and a lack of a trade deal could lead to tariffs and other barriers that would make it more difficult and expensive for UK businesses to export their goods and services. Sir Keir Starmer, the current leader of the Labour Party, was a Remainer in the Brexit referendum. He has been recently confronted about his vote and his position on Brexit. Starmer has stated that while he still believes that the UK should have remained in the EU, it is now important to respect the result of the referendum and work towards a deal that is in the best interest of the UK. Sir Keir Starmer's position on Brexit is that he wants to see a close relationship between the UK and the EU. He has stated that he wants to see the UK maintain access to the EU's single market and customs union, which would minimize the economic disruption caused by Brexit. Additionally, he has called for a close security relationship between the UK and the EU, which would allow for intelligence sharing and cooperation on issues such as terrorism and organized crime. Sir Keir Starmer's position on Brexit has been criticized by some, who argue that it is a betrayal of the Brexit vote. However, Sir Keir Starmer has stated that his position on Brexit is based on what he believes is in the best interest of the UK and its citizens. So, was Brexit a mistake? It's difficult to say. There are certainly arguments to be made on both sides of the issue. Some argue that Brexit has allowed the UK to regain control of its borders and make its own laws and trade deals. Others argue that Brexit has led to economic uncertainty and has damaged the UK's relationship with its European neighbours. What is important now is that the UK government works towards a deal that is in the best interest of the country and its citizens. Whether that means a close relationship with the EU or a clean break, it is crucial that the UK's relationship with the EU is as smooth and seamless as possible. Thanks for watching another episode of Europe Disaster. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage of the latest European news and events. We'll see you in the next one.